I've got a riddle for you. It's a Microsoft related riddle, but this is the funniest thing that has happened to me in the last 24 hours in my own little world that goes on up here.
Yeah.
All right, here is the riddle.
Okay.
I was announced earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was allegedly the first change in 30 years,
Mm.
and now I'm already broken.
Um, Jeez. Could you hone that down to a basic product group or
No.
no? Okay.
Oh,
Well, 30 years. I mean, you must be talking about Windows or Office, but probably Windows. First change in 30 years.
allegedly.
Hmm. I don't know.
The Copilot key.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Well, in the sense that everything is faster in the age of AI, we're watching. It's like you ever watch one of those videos where someone like plants a seed in the soil
Mm-hmm.
and then they speed it up so
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
see the thing sprout and grow little things. It goes up and it flowers and blah blah blah. That's like AI, right? It's happening much faster. It's like watching a time lapse movie or whatever. So yeah, things are coming and going and birthing and dying and changing and evolving. And I mean, dude, I guess this was last year, 23H2. I think I had to replace several hundred screenshots in my book after Microsoft changed the position of the Copilot icon twice before the end of the year. It was like, what are you doing? And then yeah, they're doing it again. I mean, it's not just the Copilot key, it's also the Copilot app itself, that icon, right? They literally have recommended to commercial entities, to their commercial customers, that they uninstall this app, which they force installed in everyone's computers.
I was about to tell you, if I had disposable income and billboard space, I would just put your headline in just black and white text
Okay.
outside Redmond, because Paul's headline, which is
Totally.
Microsoft tells businesses to
Okay.
uninstall Copilot, remap the Copilot key, is
I
such
know.
a beautiful phrase after they came out on their high horse earlier this year and said, we're changing the keyboard for the first time in 30 years, which isn't completely true. And we're adding a Copilot key. And now it made it a very stout 2 months before they're like, sorry, now that you guys have these devices, that key's kind of useless.
This is a trick question in a way, but if you had to identify an app that's pre-installed with Windows that is the least used business-like app in the product used by businesses,
Mm-hmm.
it would almost certainly have to be the Microsoft 365 app, which is just like a web front end kind of a
Yeah.
thing, right? The big criticism of this app when it first launched was that if you had Office installed on your computer and you clicked on the Word link or on a link to a document, it would open in the web version of the app, not the
Oh,
one
yeah,
you had
yeah,
on your computer,
yeah.
right? Now, they've actually fixed that, by the way. So which you probably have noticed, because like a normal person, you would never use this app. But the recommendation for businesses now is, if you did use the Copilot thing, get rid of it and map it to this Microsoft 365 app, which on the face of things is like, wait, what? But then, like, later, they come out and say, we're actually evolving this app. We're going to rename it to the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. And we're going to put those Copilot experiences in there next to Word and Excel and whatever else is in there. And you're like, okay. Oh, and also we're going to make the icon look like the old Copilot icon, just to screw everyone up. It's just like,
I just don't
yeah.
understand this company.
Well, the good news is they don't understand either. And
Yeah.
that's the problem, right? They're just, this is what, God, this was what, this was Netscape did this. There was this notion of ship it, then fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Facebook at the time, and whatever they were at the time, Meta, whatever they're called, said their slogan at one point was like, move fast and break things, which is a ludicrous proposition in the world of mature software, and an absolutely ludicrous proposition for a company like Microsoft, whose primary customer base is businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Do not want churn, do not want change, do not want you screwing with the UI every 10 seconds. And this is like This is like the clown car broke into the mature part of the company when no one was looking, and just started screwing around with stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, it, it's bad enough that Windows is ridiculous now. Now you've infected Microsoft 365 too. Dear God, stop.
You just know that there's somebody in there saying like, we can justify this. It's the fog of war. And it's like, no, no, I mean,
You
no.
started the war.
I know.
You what are you talking about?
You made us
And now
put a
you're going to
Copilot
complain
key.
because it's confusing? Like, I mean, you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that's ludicrous.
And then
Yeah.
this morning, as the final shot across the bow of the ship or whatever,
Mhm.
you wrote about this new Asus NUC
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
has a Copilot key, which I think you potentially correctly opined that Microsoft has some archaic requirement that every AI PC has to have a Copilot button. So they're like, we'll just stick it on the front so we can ship this thing.
I mean, Apple might take a note from the fact that an easily located button
That is
is
true. But
right
the
on
problem
the
is it's
front.
the wrong button.
Well, the power button's there too, but it's look. I don't actually know. It's possible Asus in their delightfully polite Asian personas have decided just to do the right thing as they see it. I don't know, but or maybe it is a requirement. I have no idea. I can't imagine. We're going to want to have desktop like Copilot plus PC desktop
Mhm.
PCs like towers and stuff. But what's the point of putting a button on there? The thing might be 5 feet away. I don't know. Maybe if you ship it with a keyboard and that has the key that satisfies that demand, I would imagine that's probably the case. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is well, I don't know why they announced it now. They have not announced pricing or availability information, anything like that. I assume that's coming at CES, and it begs the question: why does it wait to
Mhm.
CES? I mean, there's probably going to be a bunch of Copilot plus PC stuff at CES,
I think that's probably fair to say.
is my guess, and maybe they were like, "Look, we're going to get ahead of this." I will say because I parsed every single announcement last year before someone, Microsoft, I think it was the first, finally came out and said, yes, these new computers based on Intel Lunar Lake or AMD Zen 5 will be called Copilot Plus PCs and
Mhm.
will get all of those features for the 3-5 months, whatever leading up to it. There was a
Mhm.
lot of squirrely language like, might be updated to in the future with these features, but would not refer to them as a Copilot Plus PC. I felt like maybe this was a bone thrown to Qualcomm or something. But Asus was like, yeah, no, it's a Copilot Plus PC. They're like, I mean, and then they had the same language, like those features will come later, blah, 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 whatever. So I don't know, man. We live in crazy times. You have to give them credit for the entertainment value, though, right? Like we could have just been accountants or whatever. Our lives would have been boring. All you would have had to do with your life is like watch videos on Twitter of someone analyzing what Joe Burrow is saying by lip reading him from the sidelines and trying to figure out why he's yelling at the coach.
Oh, there's a lot of you don't need. There's a lot of reasons you should be yelling at the
I
coach,
spent like 20 minutes on this morning. Anyway, the point is
as they should.
we work in an industry that has lost its marbles. Like it's
Oh yeah.
just it's this reminds me of Windows 8. Like at some point I was like Windows 8 is going to be this roller coaster. It's crazy. Just ride it, enjoy it for what it is. And then they dismantled all of it over, I don't know, 3 updates to Windows 8 and then finally Windows 10, right? But at the time it was like, you have like a 30-inch all-in-one computer and you got these tiles. Each one of them is the size of your head, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we're doing that again. Except now we're doing it the speed of light. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they.
So before you pull the plug on this in
I
our
thought you were
week,
gonna say grandma. I was like, that's.
no, we should figure out and discuss the schedule here because next week is the holiday, and then the week after that is the other holiday. And what are we thinking here? Probably just take the whole week off, or we want to just do like a.
Yeah, why don't we take the week off, but then do the 30th? So
Then do the 30th. Okay. On
maybe the
Monday, the following
31st
Monday.
too, but we'll
Yeah,
do the
yeah, yeah.
30th because that'll be. I mean, unless people really want to hear me diddle around if I'm gonna buy an iPhone or not. I mean, that's. You know what's really annoying here, Thrap, is I could have sworn previously that, and now granted, previously was 3 years ago when I bought my phone, and
Yeah.
I don't even know if
Yeah.
this option still exists. If you want to buy an iPhone and trade it into Apple, you either have to pay all of it up front or you have to put it
Mm-hmm.
on their credit card. And I'm not buying their credit card or whatever, signing up for that. You can't do like payments through your carrier, which I could have sworn you used to be able to do.
That I'm not sure. Yeah, you, in other words, pay for it month to month with your bill until it's paid off, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, that sounds like that was the case. Yeah.
You can no longer do that. And I'm just getting angrier by the day, and I'm probably going to end up doing nothing
I
at
don't
work.
know. I mean, I do literally know why you're in Verizon. I was going to say I don't know why you're in Verizon. Obviously, I know why, but um, I've been on Google Fi, or I was on Mint for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Mint does have those phone things, so you're not going to get an iPhone through Google Fi, right? So
Right.
I've been doing actually to get. I got an Apple credit card because I bought the Mac, right? And that was expensive, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I can get like a 0 interest loan in this thing and pay it off over I think 12 months or whatever it was. And so I did that. But let's see, when I did the iPhone, I think with the iPhones I've been paying for them outright, and and then I trade in a phone, right? So
Yeah. If I end up doing it, but here's the other part. So that's the route. If I do it, that's the route I'll probably 99% go. But then
yeah,
Verizon does not
mhm,
have any trade in. So on Verizon, in theory, I could pay for it month to month on my plan, zero
mhm,
interest, whatever, nice and easy and simple. However,
mhm,
you cannot trade a phone into Verizon and get a
right,
discount
right, yeah. Now,
without being on
that,
like some insane plan where they're giving you like $1,000 credit, which is
yep.
what you see in all the commercials, by the way. However, that would take my $130 a month plan to like 260 or something like
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not happening.
So, yeah. Right. That's interesting. I the knee jerk response to that is this is Apple's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it is. I think it's complex and expensive for a carrier to handle this. Think of all the millions of customers they must have, and then they have to deal with the devices and like how to it. I, I guess you could just go to like Swappa or one of
Yeah,
those
and sell
sites,
it that
and
way or something. I don't know.
it's a pain. Yeah.
It is. Everything's a pain. All things are terrible, and that's how 2024 ends.
Yeah. Copilot.